go ahead and start with a little jog.
Now here you go again, you say
Just to get
you
the heart
want
rate
your
up, get some
freedom.
blood flowing,
Well, who am I to keep you down?
and then doing some jumping jacks. You
It's
can, of
all
course,
in the
hook out that hop and just step side to side.
way you
Or when you're ready,
feel
add in
it.
that hop.
Listen carefully to the sound of loneliness like a heartbeat
And
tries to
then come into a
mend.
standing
Will you
position,
still
doing
miss
alternating hand toe taps,
what you
getting that leg up
had
nice and high,
and what
stretching
you
the back side
lost
of your leg. Maybe you tap
and
your
what you
toes. Maybe you just come
had,
super close.
what
Let's
you
do one more on each
lost.
side. And then coming to a nice hip opener over to a side lunge. Chin and chest stays lifted. Really getting that knee up and over to the opposite side. Coming into a nice low lateral lunge here. Let's do one more on each side. And then coming to a nice low wide squat, toes belly turned out, knees tracking over your toes. Reach your arms out by your side and tap down. Try and tap the opposite inside ankle. Chin stays above your heart. Staying low in your squat. Core is engaged.
Now here I go
Do
again, I
one more on
say
each
no
side.
crystal vision.
Staying low in your
I
squat,
keep
body
my
upright, arms
visions to
forward in a windmill
myself.
motion. Warming up those shoulders.
It's only me
And then flip it in reverse,
as to
just backwards arm
where are
motion.
your dreams end. Have you any dreams you
Still
like to
low in your
share?
squat, slightly hinge
Dreams of
forward at the waist, and then
loneliness like a
open and close your
heartbeat
arms,
drives you
giving yourself a
mad.
nice
Will
big
you
hug.
still
And as you
miss
open the arms up, squeezing your
what you
shoulder blades back,
had
few
and
more
what you
just like this.
lost and what you
And then coming down to a
had
runner's lunge, left leg forward, gently releasing your right knee into the floor, pressing into your left knee. Opening up your right hip, and then bring it back. Straighten your front left leg, maybe point and flex your toes. Press it forward one more time, and then bring it back. Straighten that front left leg, point and flex. And then when you're ready, just switching sides. Right foot comes forward, pressing into your right knee, not letting your right knee pass your toes, opening up your left hip, and then straighten your right leg. Maybe point and flex your toes if you would like. Pressing forward one more time. This time you can lower your chest closer towards your knee if you'd like. And then straighten that right leg, point and flex. Coming on up to standing, maybe roll your shoulder blades back, roll them forward. No equipment needed for our first set of moves here. Just hands to your hips, feel if our toes are apart, coming to first position. We're going to come to a plie up to a tree position, so just the right leg moves. Bringing that right leg down, heel to heel, and then coming back to standing. Keeping it moving, chin and chest stays lifted. You can have your hands at your hips. You can have your arms out to the side. You can have your arms overhead, whatever helps you to balance. You can also grab onto a door handle or a bar if you have that nearby. Keeping it going, moving here with your breath. Core stays nice and engaged, using whatever you have around you. Last five on this side, and we're going to switch the left leg. Last one from the same position, heels together, coming into that plie, coming to a right tree. Just the left leg is moving here. Keeping it going, warming up that lower body a little bit. Same thing here, you can have your hands to your hips. You can also bring your arms out to the side. You can bring your arms overhead. You can grab onto a bar. You can use a chair, a couch, a door handle. I've even seen people use oven handles. Keeping it going, Moving here with your breath. Nice plie squat, coming to standing and bringing that left foot to the inside of your right leg. 15 seconds to go. Keeping it going. Almost there. Last 3, 2, and 1. So from our first position here, we're going to come taking our right foot back into a wide 4. Lift the front left heel, come back down, step the right foot back. So moving here, core stays nice and engaged. Moving with your breath as you bring that right leg back, bending the knees and coming up on your front left tippy toes, coming as high as you can. Keep it going. Core stays nice and engaged. Almost there. Hands at your waist. You can bring your arms out. You can also bring your arms overhead. Whatever you would like. Keeping it going. Last 7, and we're going to switch sides. Switching sides. Now working the left leg. Left leg steps back, coming up high onto your front left toes as you come into that bending stance. Core stays nice and engaged. Don't mind my dogs, a little bit of a cramped space. Still getting my flooring redone, so I'm not able to use the guest room like I normally do. Just stepping that left leg back, coming into a wide 4th position as you step your left leg back, bending your knees, and then coming up high onto your front right tippy toes. It's a nice calf stretch for your back leg. Last 10, just like this. Last 3, 2, and 1. From here, we're going to come into a curtsy. So our right foot is back, left foot forward. Coming into our curtsy lunge, legs are straight. We're going to bring our hands to heart center, coming down in our lunge, and then try and tap our right elbow to our front left knee, coming back to standing. So you're staying in that curtsy lunge. Maybe you tap your right elbow to your left knee. Maybe you just come super close. You can also just come into that curtsy and then back up. Additional core work to bring your right elbow, opposite elbow to your front knee. Coming into that lunge, going as deep as you can in that curtsy lunge, staying on the back tippy toes. Just slide your body up and down. If you're adding in that opposite elbow tap, and then switching sides, I'm going to sure to slide by. Left foot back, right foot forward, toes slightly turned out, legs are straight, coming into that bend and back up. Option 1, just coming from a standing position to a curtsy lunge. If you'd like, you can add the opposite elbow tap, left elbow to right knee. Slow it down as much as you need to. Core stays nice and engaged, staying on your back left tippy toes. The whole sole of your front right foot is planted into the earth. Keeping it going, core stays nice and engaged for 10. Last 5. Almost there. If you'd like, you can use a weight, or you could also use a ball between your palms. If you're using the weight, just place the weight between your palms like so. Weight or the ball. Bring your feet wider than your hips. Arms reach up overhead. We're just squeezing and then pulsing the hips down. So alternating. Squeezing the ball, pulsing the hips down. Feet are wider than your hips. Toes are slightly turned out. Keeping it going. Squeeze and then pulse. Keeping it going. Almost there, alternating, squeezing and pulsing. Palms stay facing in towards one another. Now we're going to combine the two. Squeeze, pulse, squeeze, pulse. Trying to keep it nice and low for 3, 2, and 1. In the same position, ball or weight between your palms. We're going to side bend over to the right as we come to our right tippy toes, and then coming back to center. So just working that right side, coming over to the side, right tippy toes, working those obliques so your left leg, left side stays completely still. Coming up high on your right tippy toes, sole of your left foot is flat, core is engaged, keeping it going. Moving here with your breath, either the ball or the weight between your palms as you come into that side bend, coming up high on your right tippy toes. Moving with your breath, 7 seconds to go, then we're going to switch sides. And 3, 2, and 1. Finishing up wherever you're at, come back to center, side bend over to the left as you come up high on the left tippy toes. Your hips stay nice and low, just as low as they were when you first started. Core stays nice and engaged. Chest stays with us. Not thinking about twisting to the right, but keeping on chest split and just lifting over to the side. So your chest is lifted, shoulders are open, arms stay facing forward. Think about trying to tap your left elbow towards your left knee, moving in that direction while your shoulders stay stacked over your hips and not doing a rotation of your shoulders or your rib cage. Keep it going. Almost there. Last 5, 3, 2, and 1. Set the ball to the side. If you're using weights, grab them now. Coming to a reverse lunge. Left leg is back. We're going to stay in that lunge from here. We're going to bring the arms up and back down. Staying low in your lunge. Palms are facing out. You can always do this without any weights at all. Staying low in your lunge, left leg back, right foot forward. Keeping it going, core stays nice and engaged. With or without weights, you can go as high or as low as weights if you would like. You can also use water bottles, candles, soup cans, whatever you have with you, or just your body weight. Last 7, we're going to switch sides. Core is engaged. And then just switching sides. So right foot back, coming into that lunge, staying nice and low. This time we're going to have the elbows into the sides, palms facing up. We're going to bring the arms out to a T and then back in. Staying nice and low in our lunge. Core is engaged. This can be done with or without weights. Palms stay facing up. Whether you want to use any kind of apparatus on your hands or just your body weight. Core is engaged. Keep it going. Almost there. Still going. Last 10, just like this. Going strong for 5. Last 3, 2, and 1. With your weight still or just your body weight, coming back to our wide plie. Toes are slightly turned out. Feet are wider than your hips, staying nice and low. Elbows into your sides. Extend the arms out. Crisscross. And then pull it in. So elbows in towards your rib cage. Extend them out like you're making a big W shape. And then bring the arms in towards one another, crisscrossing one palm over the other. And then pulling it right back in. Staying nice and low. In your wide second plie, this can be done with or without weights, of course. Keep it going. Almost there. Keep it going. Staying low, maybe sit an inch or two lower in your plie. Go with the weights in your hands, coming to a standing position. From here, we're going to bring the arms out to the side. We're going to step the right foot back, coming into a lunge as you come into a wide arm press up. Core is nice and engaged. Pressing the arms up, so making that big goalpost sign as you press the arms up and extend the right leg back. Just the right leg is moving. We'll do the left next time. Keep it going. Squeezing the base of your right seat as you extend your right leg directly back behind you. Keep it going. This can be done with or without weights. Core stays engaged. For 7. Last 3, 2, and 1. Shake it out. Now we're going to do the left side. This time we're going to do a narrow press. So elbows stay close in towards your body. Pressing the arms up. Palms facing in towards one another. Pressing the arms up as you extend your left leg back. Keeping a nice soft bend in your front right knee. Just moving here with your breath. Elbows stay close in towards one another. Breathing back, keeping your forearms in that 11 shape. Keep it going. Core stays engaged. Almost there. Keep it going. Almost there. Just tapping the left leg back, coming into our neutral press up. With or without your weight. Now we have a bicep curl. Slightly hinge forward, keeping it soft in that front left knee. Elbows in towards your side. Extend your right leg back behind you. Nice straight right leg. Bicep curl as you lift the right leg up. So really squeezing the base of your seat. Gaze is forward. Bicep curl, palms facing upwards here. Just lean forward. Keeping it going. Soft bend and your standing left knee. Don't lock out your left knee. Almost there. Still going. Last 10. Going strong for 5, 3, 2, and 1. Forward to the other side. This time we're going to do a hammer curl. So palms face in, elbows in toward your side. Soft bend in your right knee. Extend your left leg back behind you. And then hammer curl as you lift the left leg up, squeezing your seat as you lift the left leg up. Gaze is forward, maybe a few feet in front of your right leg. Hammer curl. You can extend your arms as long as you'd like, or you can just come from 90-degree bend to a hammer curl. Trying to keep that left leg nice and straight behind you. Keeping it going. Core is engaged. Almost there. Last 10. Going strong for 5, 3, 2, and 1. Setting the weights aside, we're going to come down to a tabletop position. If you have your ball, grab it. You can also place a weight behind your right knee. Coming to our tabletop position. From here, we're going to tuck your hips under. We're going to press the right knee back, pull it in line with your left, and then press it out to the side. So pressing back and then out to the side. That right knee stays in line with your left knee or behind it. Fingertips just directly under your shoulders. Just gazing down between your thumb and your index finger. Right knee presses back and then out to the side. Whether you have that ball between your knee, squeezing it to keep it in place. Same thing if you're using a weight or if you don't have either equipment, just pretending. From here, just pressing back, keeping it as far as you can up and pressing. Tiny presses, squeezing that ball or the weight or pretend ball or weight. Gazes down between your thumb and your index fingers. Keeping your heel towards your seat, right toe is pointed. Just relaxing your left side body, core stays engaged for a nice flat back. Pull your navel in towards your spine. Just little presses up. Keeping it going just like this. Just moving here with your breath. Tiny movements. Think about trying to press your toes up towards the ceiling. For 7, last 5, 3, 2, and 1. Bring your knee back in line with your left. From here, you can also come down onto your left arm, boxing out your right. And then we're just doing a side hip lift. Still with that ball or that weight behind your right knee. So your right knee is in line with your left or further back. If your right knee is further back, you might have a little bit less range of motion. That's okay. Right toes are pointed, core is engaged, working that outer right seat. Keeping it going. Right knee in line with your left or slightly further back. Still going, still moving. Core is engaged. Keeping it going. Last 7, 3, 2, and 1. Coming on up and just quickly switching sides. So placing the ball behind your left knee. Coming to our tabletop position. From here, press the toes up, come back to center, come out to the side. Just warming up the body here. Hands are directly under your shoulders, gazes down between your thumb and your index fingers, not just turning your neck, looking side to side. Core is engaged, think about drawing your navel up towards your rib cage, up in towards your spine. Left toes are pointed, not pressing through the right side of your body. Almost there. Last 10. Really squeezing that ball or the weight behind your left knee. For 3. Last 2 and 1. Bringing your left knee as far back as you can. And then pulsing from that highest point possible, toes up towards the ceiling, so your left knee is significantly further behind your right. Just gazing down between your thumb and your index finger. Navel is pulled in towards your spine, nice flat back, so you don't want to cave out your back. No arching of the spine. Little pulses up. Really squeezing the base of your left seat on this side. Squeezing anything you have behind your knee, whether it's a ball or a weight, or maybe it's a make-believe ball or weight, just to keep it in place. Keeping it going, little presses up, toes pointing up towards the ceiling, relaxing your jaw, relaxing your forehead, not pressing through your right leg. Little presses up for 5. Last 3, 2, and 1. Bring your right forearm down, keeping your left arm boxed out. Slide your left knee in line with your right, and then just open and close. Working the outer seat here. You can also slide your left knee behind your right. Might give you a little bit less range of motion. That's okay. The hip is a ball and socket, so just opening and closing it here. Whether your left leg is in line with your right where your left leg is behind. Keeping it going, moving here with your breath. Tiny movements, little lifts and lowers, bringing that left knee out away from your hip and then pulling it back in towards the knee. Almost there. Last 7, 3, 2, and 1. Finish up wherever you're at. Set the ball to the side. We're going to come to our forearms laying onto our back side. So extend your legs out long, forearm down, fingertips pointing towards your bum. We have slow bicycles. The slower you go, the more challenging it is. The lower your feet are towards the ground, the more challenging it is. So if you need to bring your legs up higher, that's totally fine. As you extend one leg, think about trying to stretch as long as you can, longer and shorter than the time before. Maybe point your toes, squeezing the base of your seat as you extend your leg nice and long. Core is engaged. Almost there. Keeping it going for 5. Last 3, 2, and 1. Keeping the leg nice and straight, upward diagonal. Then we just have little scissor kicks, alternating raising and lowering. You can lower the legs as far down as you'd like. You can bring them up nice and high. Just balancing your weight onto your forearms. Lower abs are engaged. Keeping it going. Little scissor kicks here. Just moving with your breath. Little kicks. Core is engaged. Lower back. Almost there. Little kicks, alternating raising and lowering the legs, working those inner thighs. Core is engaged for 7. Maybe getting those legs a little bit straighter for 3. Last 2, and 1. Still from your forearms. Extend your legs out nice and long. You can also have a soft bend in your left knee, placing the sole of your left foot down. With a straight right leg, just raising and lowering your right leg. Left leg can be out long or bent. Keeping it going. Pulling your navel in towards your spine. Lower abs are engaged. Just raising and lowering that right leg. Trying to keep it as straight as you can. Maybe point the toes. Keeping it going. Last 10. Then we're going to switch legs. Almost there. And then just gently planting your right leg down, whether it's bent or straight. Point the left toes. And then just raise and lower the left leg. Core is engaged. Trying to keep that left leg as straight as you can. Lower abs pulled in. Keeping it going. You can have that right knee bent. You can also have that right leg out long. Just raising and lowering the left leg. Nice and straight. Point the toes. Maybe think about trying to make that leg even straighter, even longer. Extending that leg super straight for 10. Keeping it going for 3. Last 2. And 1. If you have that ball, place it between your feet. If you don't, just pretend that you do. Still coming back onto our forearms. Legs are straight. And from here, we're just rotating the ball. So if you don't have the ball, just bring one leg over the other. A little crisscrosses. So placing the ball between your feet or pretending. Core is engaged. Keeping it going. Legs at the diagonal, just rotating from side to side. Core is engaged. Last 20. Almost there. Core is engaged here for 5. Last 3, 2, and 1. Hopefully that ball didn't slip like it did with me. If you need to readjust that ball from here, legs up towards the ceiling, we're going to bend the knees to the chest, extend the legs long, bend the knees to the chest, up to the ceiling. So just alternating, making that L shape with your legs. Still keeping that ball between your feet, just a little bit of resistance. If you don't have that ball, just keeping a slight space. Maybe keeping your feet hip width apart. Keeping it going, knees into your chest, extend your legs out long. Knees come back into your chest and legs up towards the ceiling. Core is engaged. Almost there. Last 10. Keeping it going. Last 1. Feel free to readjust that ball if you need to. You can lay your head all the way back, propping your head up with your hands. And we just have a circle shape with our legs going in a clockwise or counterclockwise motion. We'll do one direction for a full minute and then switching sides, so it does not matter which side you started with first. Keeping it going. You can make your circle as big or as small as you'd like. Core is engaged, lower back tucked into the mat. Keeping it going, drawing that circle with your legs. Same direction for a full minute. Last 10. If you find that your hip flexor is getting sore, just keep your legs closer up to the ceiling. And then switching directions. So opposite direction of what you just did. You can also place your hands under your hips, whether your legs are up towards the ceiling. You can lower the legs. You can make the shape as big or as small as you like. 1 full minute each direction here. Keeping it going, moving here with your breath. Little circles with that ball between your feet, or just imagine it a ball. Keeping it going, little circles. Last 15. Going strong for 10. Last 3, 2, and 1. Set the ball to the side. We're going to roll over to the front side of our body. Just placing your forearms down, just resting your head onto your arms or your chin on your arms. Extend your legs out nice and long. Bring the right heel to your seat. Come back down. Bring it back again. Alternating, pointing and flexing the toes. Maybe you tap your heel towards your seat. Maybe you just come super close. Full range of motion, flexing and extending, alternating the flexion and the extension of your right toes. You can rest your chin or your forehead on the floor. Keeping it going. Last 3, 2, and 1. Rest that right leg down. Now we're going to work the left side, bringing your left heel to your seat, alternating, flexing, and extending those toes. Just placing your chin or your forehead down onto the mat, maybe on the backs of your hands. Maybe your heel touches your seat. Maybe it just comes super close. Keeping it going, moving with your breath. Almost there. Still going, just relaxing your forehead or your chin onto your hands. Keeping it going for 5, last 3, 2, and 1. Option to grab a single weight or ball between your hands. If you have the weight, just press the weight between your palms. If you're using the ball, place the ball between your palms. Arms extend out to your side, bending your knees, and then bringing your heels together. We're going to lift the arms up, come down, lift the legs, come down. So we're alternating, lifting your upper body and lifting your lower body. Trying to get your arms up as high as you can. Keeping it going. Still going. Still moving. Still moving. Alternating arm lift, lower, leg lift, and lower. And then coming on over to the front side of your body. If you're using that ball, you can place it between your thighs. You can grab your weights if you're using them. Place it to a tabletop position. Knees are over your hips. Bring your palms facing down, palms down by your hips. We're going to pump the arms for 4 counts and then tap the toes, come back up. Pump the arms for 4, tap the toes, come back. So moving your arms and then bringing your toes down, tapping your toes, and then bringing your knees back over your hips. Core stays nice and engaged. Belly button pulled into your spine. Keeping it going here. Toes tap, come back center. Little pumps of the arms. Toes tap, come back to center. From the same position here, we're going to set the weights to the side. So with the ball between your knees, you can just rest your head down, or you can crunch your head up. We're going to extend the legs to diagonal, come back to a tabletop. So just moving your legs, if you have that ball between your thighs, squeezing it nice and tight, so you're keeping your knees and your feet hip width or closer. Lower back stays pressed into the floor. If you find that your lower back lifts up, or if you have any kind of pain or discomfort, just bring your knees a little bit higher up. Maybe bend and extend your knees as opposed to coming out to diagonal. As you draw the knees back in, bring the knees over the hips, not any closer towards your chest. The closer your knees are to the chest, the easier it's going to be. Keeping it going. Still with that ball between your thighs, just setting your feet down, placing your weights on your hips. From here, we're going to lift the hips up and then tap down. So lift and tap. Squeezing that ball, feet are at least hip width apart, feet are parallel with one another. We're just tapping the floor and then squeezing your feet as you lift your hips up. Upper back stays pressed into the floor, so we're not coming to a full bridge or wheel. Just a glute bridge, raise and lower. If you have the weights on your hips, just make sure you're holding them there. Keeping it going, a little tap and then squeeze. Still going. Almost there. Last 7, just like this. 3, 2, keep those hips up nice and high, hold the weight. From here, we're just squeezing the knees in, squeezing that ball. If you don't have a ball, you can just draw the knees in to tap and then bring them back out to hip width. So whether you're squeezing that ball or tapping your knees, keep your hips nice and lifted. Upper back stays pressed into the floor. Keeping it going. Little squeezes just like this. Almost there. Keeping it going. Little squeezes. Feet are flat on the floor. Last 10. 5, 3, 2, 1. Flexing the toes. Now it's going to tap and squeeze. Toes are lifted up to the ceiling. Heels are pressed into the ground. Feet and knees are still hip width apart. Toes just up towards the ceiling. So right back to where we started. Just lift and lower. Upper back stays pressed into the floor. Weights on your hips if you have them. Keeping it going just like this. Hold your hips at the highest point and then little pulses up from here. Think about squeezing your seat to lift your hips an inch or two higher. Your hips are lifted the whole entire time. Just little pulses here. Keeping it going. Toes stay flexed. Toes are up towards the ceiling. Last 5, 3, 2, and 1. Release everything down. Set your weight to the side. Set the ball to the side if you were using it. Draw your knees into your chest and then rolling from side to side. And then extend your left leg long. Bring your right leg up to the ceiling. You can grab behind your thigh, behind your calf. You can also grab your toes. Trying to get that leg straight for a nice stretch behind the right leg. And then just switching sides. Right leg comes long on the floor, left leg up to the ceiling. You can grab hold of your left thigh, your left calf, maybe your ankle or your left toe. Trying to get the left leg nice and straight. Feeling that deep stretch all on the back side of your leg. Bring your knees back into your chest and rolling up to a seated position. From here, drawing the left foot into the right thigh, right leg extends long. Bring the right hand to the inside of your right leg, left arm reaches up overhead. Feeling that nice deep stretch all along the left side body. And then drawing your left arm down, nose to knee, head to thigh. And then rolling out slowly with your next exhale. Extend your left leg long. Bring the right sole of your foot to the inside of your left leg. Left arm comes down to the inside of your left leg. Right arm reaches up overhead. Enjoying that stretch all along the right side body. And then bringing your nose to knee, heart to thigh. Right arm comes down. And gently rolling up on your next exhale, bringing the soles of the feet together. You can bring your legs as close in towards your body or as far away as you'd like. And then trying to press your elbows down, pressing them down into the insides of your thighs for a full body stretch. You can lean your upper body over. And then rolling up slowly, coming up to a sitting position in whatever way that works for you. Coming to a nice big deep breath. One more. Awesome job. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed it, baby, and I hope that you were able to use equipment, or if you didn't, it didn't bother you too much.
It was great. Thank you.